I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements. I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking any air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect them to go. I can't throw it on the football. It's so goddamn hard to hold on to it.
It's October. We are 1 month into this thing. The data is now real. Really real. Travis Kelce is dating Taylor Swift real. Rumors and speculation doesn't compare to cold, hard numbers. With a quarter of the season in the books, it's time to make moves. Fantasy millionaire moves. Scotty Stacks. Where do we start?
I got to start by saying that the ratings for last night's football game are down 4% over a typical Sunday night football game. Not only not getting the Taylor Swift bump, but it seems like fans have tuned out. It might be over. What do you think about that? Travis Kelce, no touchdowns last night, right? I mean, it was the Isaiah Pacheco show. I got to eat a little crow on that. But yeah, they showed Taylor Swift all the time. Matthew Berry came in with his intro and he used a Taylor Swift song as analysis. And I think Chris Sims and some other guy were just saying Taylor Swift song titles back and forth to each other. This was the NFL. And then I looked at the NFL on Twitter and Taylor Swift's face was across the banner. I felt like I was in a dystopian dream and I woke up and all I was allowed to play was sports ball now. So it was interesting, but 4% down. So hopefully it's over, Johnny. It's over.
Did it bother you? Were you getting sick of the Taylor Swift stuff?
Yeah. I was getting sick of it. I was getting sick of it because that's what I don't think it's glib or funny to have your pregame analysis just be back and forth Taylor Swift song lines. Like, to me, I don't like it. This is not, it's not, I don't like it. It's not what I like. I like guys talking about guy stuff, I like men talking about and women talking about hitting. I like talking about free safety blitzes. I like all that stuff that kind of gets me going. I don't really care about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship in regards to football, unless she breaks up with him, breaks his heart, and then he goes on some ravage tear across the league where he's averaging, 29 points per game or something. Then I'm tuning in. But it's all honestly just a commercial, because about halfway through the first quarter, they cut to a Taylor Swift commercial for her Legacy tour. And it said something like victory lapping tour. And I was just like, this is just a victory lap for Taylor Swift. She's sitting in the owner's box of the New York Jets, dating the opposing team's tight end. This is like high school. It's like when the hot chick in high school rolls in to the opposing town, and the leader of the opposing gang just is like, sit in my box, baby. Bring all your friends. So yeah, to me, it's just, I'm out. I'm out on Tay-Tay. Sorry. That's just, controversial maybe, but I hope they work out as people, relationship-wise. But
I don't think you're controversial. I think you're your average fan.
Average white guy.
You're especially your hardcore fans. Your nerds are, this fantasy world is just filled with nerds. So I think you're kind of speaking from, you're preaching to the choir. I, on the other hand, I don't like it, but it doesn't bother me. I am actually sort of just in shock. Like, this is not that they're dating, but like you said, all the hype and how much it was a part of the game. And then I'd never seen a Taylor Swift commercial. All of a sudden there's this big, long commercial. It was weird too. It wouldn't let me change the channel. I have YouTube TV. I don't know if they locked Taylor Swift. Like, I kept trying to, and there was this weird heart thing on my, where it shows your stream and you can rewind and go back and forth. There was a heart thing on my stream. I couldn't I was trying to change it off the commercial to watch something else during the commercial. It wouldn't let me change it. But I'm just kind of baffled at a superstar singer, and she is
she's a beast.
Well, she's so, I'm not that into her. Like, just this last album was the first time she made a song that I really liked. You know the song, "It's Me, Hi, I'm the Problem Is Me." That song I like, but I've never liked anything before. Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
not a Swiftie.
No, so
But you can't deny that this woman is like Michael Jackson big. I mean, and
Yeah.
I'm blown away that she is like, I mean, she's like eating the NFL with her fame now. Like it's just
yeah,
insane.
but you think that, right? You think that, but then, like I said, the ratings are down. So you think if the
That's an
Swifties
anomaly. I didn't even know she was going to be on the. I don't think anybody.
no, everybody knew. It was tweeted out on like Wednesday by like Adam Schefter.
So you think fantasy football nerds didn't watch because of Taylor Swift?
No,
I just think it's the game. I think
Chiefs. It's a good game though. It was a good game.
It was a good game.
You think people
would
would be
awesome
invested
game.
in it? I would just say that I did not turn it off because of that. I went to bed because I go to bed anyway. But it was off-putting to see. I tweeted out something like, the picture of Daenerys Targaryen going, "Bend the knee." Like NBC was bending the knee. Matthew Berry was bending the knee. Chris said all these people were just bending the knee, and I mean, not that you should like fight the knee or anything, but you didn't have to bend that low. It did. That's what it just felt like to me. Like any chance you could get, corporate America was like, yes, give us more. And I'm on a Travis Kelce commercial next. Yes. Okay, then a Taylor Swift commercial. Show him in the box. Some corporate exec just splooging all over himself, going, "I got shares. They're playing fantasy football with us fucking last night, and they had Travis Kelce shares in the stock market of the companies that he's advertising for, and Taylor Swift's concert, which is bankrolled, being bankrolled by these banks. They're just like, oh, this is.
Oh, I mean, 100%, but I mean, down 4%. So 80 million, 76 million people watch instead of 80 million. I mean, what are the numbers? I mean,
I just think that they thought that there was going to be a Tay
bump. A bump, right?
A bump. Like you were going to get a little bit of a spike because people were tuning in to see it, and it didn't happen. It went the other way. And it wasn't, I don't think, because of Taylor, but then also I think Aaron Rodgers not being there is a big deal. You have Aaron Rodgers there. I mean, that game is one of the best games of the year, right? So
yeah,
it turned out to be one of the better games of the night. But yeah, but still, I think part of that does just kind of turn people off who are fans. Like it's cute, but
fans are not going to turn it off because of that. So I think that's fluky.
I think it turns off people to the game overall, but not necessarily hardcore. I mean, nerds aren't going to turn the game off. I had to go to bed, so
yeah. I just think it's a random fluke in the numbers, but you're right. It wasn't a spike, which is what they wanted. So that is interesting. I would have thought there would have been a spike.
Me too. Me too.
Did you watch the Toy Story Disney cartoon on Disney Plus?
I did. Sorry, I didn't mean to share my screen. So I did. I watched the whole first half in Toy Story mode with my girls. Cartoon version. And I made my wife watch some of it too. And
really?
And I said, "Hey, come watch this. This is great. Look at this. I was look at Bijan. Look at Trevor Lawrence. This is hilarious. Look at the claw.
The Slinky dog.
Yeah, Slinky dog. I was answering all the trivia questions on football. My kids were just like, I was like when you're the superstar of the trivia, it was me. I was the bar trivia guy. I was just like, they're like, how many teams? I'm like 6. They're like 6. They're like, Dad. I got all the NFL trivia. It was great. I look like the big man on campus. But I loved it. It was a great way for kids to get into it. And even when my kids left in the middle of the second quarter before the halftime, I just kept watching in that. And then I switched over at halftime and, watched the second half in real football. So, but I mean, I was a big fan. If they do that every year or every week or every couple of weeks or something for kids, it would be a great gateway drug for kids.
So smart, because I was totally interested to see what my kids were going to do. And I didn't get as good of an experience as you because we were in Hershey Park and it came on at 9:30 and we had to be out of the hotel room at 11 and I couldn't find it. We realized, we have Disney Plus. We could watch it. So I finally got it after I missed about 20 minutes. I was watching some weird YouTube like play-by-play version.
Kill yourself now.
Yeah, it was horrible. But then once I found it, I got the kids to watch it some, and then on the ride home, we had it on in the car and we were listening to it, and the kids were not that interested when we were in the car. But for the little amount of time I got to observe them, success. Like they were totally, this is cool. Oh my gosh, oh, there's Woody's sister, blah blah blah. So they were really into it. And when I got home, and I throw the Red Zone on from Hershey Park, I got home in time to, hear them say 7 hours commercial-free football.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. So as soon as I put on the Red Zone, they're like, put it back in Toy Story mode. They were ready to watch football. So
they wanted it. People wanted it.
Yeah, I think it's a success. Yeah.
Big time. I saw Marcus Grant from the NFL Network clapping back at some folks who were just like, I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. It didn't seem to fit my demo. Right. It was for children.
Right.
It was not for you. If you have Twitter and you're complaining about it on Twitter, shame on your stupid, because you should know that wasn't designed for you. That wasn't for you. You had to go find it to complain about it. It's like people who go read books. They find things they don't like in them, and then they get them banned. Fucking losers. Biggest fucking losers on the planet. Anyway, non sequitur there. I love me some Toy Story. I will go there every single week with my kids and watch a game. I don't care which game it is. I didn't miss it at all.
Yeah, great. It was cool. I liked it.
Didn't even care.
Yeah, you got like, it was cool. Did you watch any on Twitter like split screens where it showed the Toy Story?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I saw the one with the interception, and I was like, this is great. I love it.
I actually had the game on a different monitor on the regular game, and so it was a little bit behind. It was a little bit behind, but it was really cool to see what I'd be like. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens when they do the sack or whatever it was. And so, and Booger's head, by the way, was fucking huge. Oh my God. They made Booger's head so big. So, sorry, Booger, they didn't do you any.
I like little things like Booger said too. I mean, the way they were, commentating, they were like slipping in like life advice about stuff. Did you notice anything like that? Like,
I mean,
they would say little comments like, you have to pick yourself up off the ground and try again. It was just like little things like that. I was like, this is a really positive message we're giving.
Everything was super positive. It was everything was thought out. What everything was said was probably scripted, honestly, except for, the play-by-play and stuff like that. In those little non sequiturs and downtime, there's probably, there's a list of 10 things to say that would pump kids up a bit, fumble, whatever. It's like, never give up on life, kids, or whatever it is,
I'm just saying, you have your oldest is 12 and Adelaide's 10, right?
10 went to go get 12 and said, come down and watch this for a bit. So
and then I have 5 and 6-year-old. I mean, smashing success for that age demographic.
And
6
all
to
the
12.
demos. And my wife and hot chicks. In a hot chick demo, I made her come down and suckle from the teat of Disney and NFL, which to me was
liked it too.
Yeah, she was just like, what's going on here? This is she's like, this is cute. I was like, this is the real NFL game right now. She's like, what? I said, no, it's just transposed. And then she started getting into the geeky part about it. Like, well, what are they doing? I was like, well, it's a mix of AI, cameras, and use of digital formatting, and trying to give her just the bullshit answer of a guy who doesn't really know, but sounds like he does. And so I said, it's really cool. Yeah. So that's what
guys always have to know everything.
She doesn't know shit. So she's stepping into this going, oh, wait. She thought it was just like, a game, like a bullshit simo. No, this isn't simulation. This is real, right? You're not getting the Sims here. You're running real games. They're actually overlaying. I basically told her, and she liked it. So yeah, smashing. And let me say this: Disney greater than signing Tay-Tay this weekend for me. Bigger story, better story, bigger impact. And I don't care that Tay-Tay's out there, but it's just getting old. Like, that's the thing about us too, the Twitter people. There's a new story every week, and we like to have the new. Like, we don't want to.
I already feel like Tay-Tay's a week old. It's already stale a little bit.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I wanted to show this before I kind of like jumped in on your moment here, but this is how I feel, and I love this. Someone put this together last night, and it was just, I mean, these mashups that they fuck, and so. To me, hold on, I have to unmute this site real quick because I don't want it to. Sometimes I don't want it to pop off, so I'll mute it, in case it pop off. Okay, this is perfect. So this is last night, and enjoy.
Yeah. She's here.
She's here.
It's in fact.
Yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Al
That
Michaels.
was you,
Yeah.
huh? That was not me. That was not me. Did you notice? Was Blake Lively next to her too?
Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds were hanging out as well.
Okay,
there's
I
a
didn't see
little
Ryan
posse.
Reynolds.
Oh yeah. He came in the metal detector with her when she came into the stadium. I saw that. Here's what I love is that Donna Kelsey openly told people that she's banging Jake from State Farm during the first half of the NFL window yesterday in the morning half. Getting spotted. You see her with Jake from State Farm up in the rafters watching her son, the Eagles play against Washington. Then she went over to New Jersey and then went up and was in the owner's box, the opposing team wearing her son's Kelsey jersey, partying with Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Like Donna Kelsey is having herself a couple of months here. Like this is just, if one of my kids grows up to like date the biggest pop star in the world, and like I'm between my kids, super events back and forth, like holy shit, well done, Donna. Well done.
Wildness.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into real football now. Let's
Let's
do what we actually do. Huh? Let's get nerdy again.
Back in the saddle again. Yeah, no, we do need to talk elevate, mitigate, eviscerate, the wire, DFS stacks of cash. But first, always first, trades to get paid.
Trades to get paid.
Trades to get paid. So let's pop off. I'll let you pop it off. While you pop off, I'll get PFF popping so we can pull up some of these guys and just see what we're talking about.
All right, my buy low was your sell low for last week. I think Breece Hall is it's another opportunity. I really think he's about to pop off. I don't understand. I was not a doctor. I know they're trying to make sure he doesn't re-injure his ACL. The usage is still concerning. The yards per attempt. Let's go look at that right there.
Yards after contact to 6.16. Ooh.
Six point. I saw somewhere 6.6 yards per attempt.
Well, no. Yards per attempt is 6.5, but
I know.
yards.
No, I know. I'm saying. Yeah. That's my main thing right there.
Yeah.
He's had a couple. He had one game I think where he rushed 12 times and only got 18 yards. So there is some flukiness to this, but he almost again last night ripped off an 80-yard carry. He's so close to doing that almost every time he touches the ball. And I'll already get into my elevate. We'll get there. I'll bring it back up again, but he plays the Broncos this week. That is my RB for elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. Breece Hall, I think, is just ready to start doing what I mean. The formula has been followed where he has been held back. They've held him back for 4 weeks now. They've really, kind of stymied the amount of times his volume that they're using him. But Dalvin Cook, not a thing. It's not a thing. The only thing that's annoying is the Michael Carter third down usage. But he is starting to get passing work. Like I've been noticing a little bit of uptick in the amount of targets, and I just think it's just going to take just one game where he pops off and it's go time. Like and we didn't get into that game too much. We were talking Taylor Swift, but meanwhile Zach Wilson last night, like whether it was a fluke or not,
we'll talk about him later, don't you worry.
Yeah, he looked for it was for 3.5 quarters. He had a fumble, but he was balling out. I don't know if it was because Daddy Aaron Rodgers was in the building and he was telekinetically connecting with him through ayahuasca, but it was very interesting because when you see that game, right? They beat the Bills and then they almost beat the Chiefs. Like they could have won that
Almost.
game. Like
Yeah, almost.
there was some bad calls by the refs. I mean, it's just known the refs love Patrick Mahomes. I mean, there was one play of that one where he had that 25-yard scamper, and you watch the highlight, and like you can see one guy like banging himself on the head, like
he figure four-locked his arm with the
it's crazy the call. And then they got the pass interference call. Robert Saleh lost his mind, got a penalty at the end of the game. That game was very close, and Zach Wilson was balling out. So I don't know, man. I'm sorry to spend this much amount of time on Breece Hall, but I really do think,
but you know,
it's I think this is like my buy low of the year.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think you got to sell your guy because you want people to be able to get some, you know, and I think you might not be able to get them later. Is what your kind of your point is. So buy now. I like that. My guy, I don't know. He correlates to an Eviscerate later in the show for sure. But my buy low right now is Aaron Jones. You're low if you're Aaron Jones. If you're an Aaron Jones owner, probably drafted him in the 3rd round. Came out the gate strong. You know, right away. 26.7 points. And then he's injured 2 games. Does not play. 5 attempts in the last game. Only 2 targets. 2.4 points. So you're struggling if you're an Aaron Jones owner. You rostered him, and you might be looking to. He might be looking, or she might be looking to cut weight. So I think Aaron Jones will come back. I think. No offense to AJ Dillon. I think as a person, I think he's good, but as a player in the NFL, he's not been very effective. And I think this year it just proves like he's not it for them. And I think Aaron Jones is going to be it. So I think I'm not going to spend as much time. I need to.
What happened in the last game was all I want to ask. Like everybody started him. Why did he only get 5 attempts? Like, is there an explanation for that? That was odd. Like, did he get hurt at all? I mean, that was every league I was in. Aaron Jones was started, and what do you got? Like 0.5 points or something like that.
2.5, something like that. 2.5. Yeah. I did not hear an explanation for that game, and because it was a Thursday night game, the day kind of rolled on, you know. And next thing you know, it's the weekend. You're getting ready for DFS for the main slate, and so I did not go back and find out. But I know that he was nursing an injury, and so maybe it was just limited amount of exposure in that game. We can go back and look and see based on the game log too. We'll go to week 3. I do love me some fantasy data. And we'll go to running back and Green to the Bay. So
week 4.
That's right, week 4. Yeah, I mean they both had 5 attempts, so they did not run the football, and instead they passed the football. But even in that game, they're getting the time of possession was favoring the Lions. The Lions dominated them. They were David Montgomerying all over their faces. So that game script did not favor them. But I think eventually he will be the main weapon in the backfield for them. He needs to be because AJ Dillon cannot do it. So I'd buy low right now if you could, maybe buy medium if Aaron Jones is kind of hard to buy low on him. But I would try.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Who's your buy high?
Buy high, I'm going with DeAndre Swift.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, dude, how about DeAndre Swift? I think, yeah, he's 2nd in the league in rushing yards.
That's good.
Yeah, 364 rushing yards with really 3 games under his belt. You know, I mean, he was just not used week 1. So, you saw Miles Sanders be one of those guys last year that's just a league winning guy. And I don't know, man. I gotta, up my game in understanding how NFL offenses work. But from my limited kind of understanding, if you have a premier rushing quarterback, for some reason the running back doesn't get PPR points. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be. They haven't figured that next part of it out. It's just a simple kind of observation that I have. DeAndre
Yeah.
Swift was brought in to be the PPR guy. He ain't, but he doesn't need to be.
Well, he's got three receptions per game. That's
okay. Good. I wish they would throw it to him way more than that, though. You know what I mean? Like, just give me 6, dude.
Yeah. Well, Kenneth Gainwell's there too. He gets catches too. So I mean,
the point is it doesn't matter because they are such a good offensive line, and finally, DeAndre Swift, who Cash Collins has been on this guy.
Yeah, you and Bo
since he came in the league. I've always been on this guy, and he's finally in a situation. And I think this is the last week where you can buy high. He's going to just start being too high. Like Sirianni said that they were going to roll with the hot hand. Well, guess who's going to be the hot hand every week? DeAndre Swift.
I fully endorse this double stamp. Sorry, I'm choking here on the mic. No races. So, I'll tell you, my guy is, and maybe you're never going to get him, but I mean, looks like a league winner, and you have him. It's David freaking Montgomery. Holy shit. He is just en fuego. He is the Jamal Williams from last year, but better. Can actually run the football. Yeah, he's better, right? But in that Jamal Williams role, which is a touchdown machine, also a yards machine here. So far he did get injured a little bit, so he didn't play in all the games, but 70 carries. I mean, that's just, yards per attempt a little low, but the Lions will just run him. So there might be some wear and tear this year on him. So if you draft him trade for him, make sure you try to have a backup in mind, maybe not for the Lions, but from some other, place coming, from maybe, a handcuff or something, because he is a little bit vulnerable here because his usage is up, but his touchdown upside is ridiculous. He's got 5 rushing touchdowns this year. That's more than most teams have touchdowns when it comes to the rushing position. So I love it. I think Montgomery's a league winner as long as he stays healthy.
I'm with you, man. I mean,
man, you son of a bitch.
I had my sell low last week as Jahmyr Gibbs, and it's because I've been thought that the way that the way that system works, they have a power short yardage back who is going to get the red zone equity, and that's David Montgomery. And like you said, I mean, Jamal Williams, what did he have last year? 17 touchdowns or something like that?
17 touchdowns.
Right. And David Montgomery has 5 so far. He might have the most touchdowns. I mean, he is on a breakneck pace. So yeah, man. It's a hard buy high, I think, to achieve. But if you want to give up just like a primo guy, how about this? Here's my sell high.
Isaiah Pacheco?
No, I'll buy high on this Pacheco.
Yeah, I know.
Sell high on Amon-Ra St. Brown. How about that?
Yeah, you got Williams coming off the suspension, right?
You got Williams coming off the suspension, and how about my main reason would be because of David Montgomery. I just think that right now, BFF scoring system, he's 10th. Okay, that is not what you wanted. I mean, it's and he's it's kind of like low ceiling, high floor player, dude. Like 19 points, 16 points, 21 points, 16 points. I just think that's going to be, he's going to pop off. He's going to have a week where he pops off, but I just think this is going to be how he looks most weeks. I think he's not getting the same amount of volume of targets. Now you do have Jahmyr Gibbs eating into that. You have Jameson Williams about to come back. The suspension's been lowered. And his targets per game, 9, 7, 12, 7. And he's had enough where, you could sell high, and there's going to be people out there that want him on St. Brown. So, man, I'd probably make that trade straight up. I'm on for David Montgomery.
Oh, wow. That is bold, my friend.
Bold.
You have big, bold balls. I like it. I like it. All right, let's hear who your sell high is. Who you selling?
I got 2 sell highs.
All right.
I mean, no, that was my sell high. My 2 sell lows.
Yeah, 2 sell
Yeah,
lows.
I have 2 sell lows. They're both on the same team. I've already featured one before. I'm going to sell low on Drake London and Kyle Pitts. I want both of those guys off my roster. Devin Ritter, he ain't it. Arthur Smith, he ain't it. I don't necessarily hate him as a coach, but I do understand the fantasy hatred. The tight end one on that team is Jonnu Smith, who will be featured in The Wire. Was almost featured in Elevate, Mitigate, Eviscerate for Elevate. Jonnu Smith is the wide receiver one. Why? We don't know. According to the Toy Story broadcast, one of the players said that Arthur Smith they comped him to Emperor Zurg because he's diabolical, and that makes as much sense as anything. He's definitely diabolical with what he's doing to Kyle Pitts' career. And it's shocking. He loves the way Kyle Pitts blocks, and he doesn't like the way Jonnu Smith blocks. He likes the way Jonnu Smith catches. Even though Kyle Pitts runs a 4.4 or it's like almost a 4.3. I'm done. I'm so glad I didn't draft any Kyle Pitts this year. I drafted no Drake London either. And if I did, I would be selling low.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. It's true. Okay. I didn't get to do my sell high yet.
Who's your sell high? Yeah.
So it's tricky because I mean, listen, maybe someone's not going to care about because the name isn't too big, but Nico Collins had a huge game. If you look at that offense last week, the week before, Tank Dell had a huge game and Nico Collins did not. And so there's going to be oscillation in these offenses, particularly with a rookie quarterback who might lock in per game on somebody. So I think this will happen where, Nico will be, I think he's the clear wide receiver one on that team. But I mean, he 38 points. He's almost at a 40-point. Him and Stephon Diggs are just neck and neck. That's not going to happen regularly. I do think he could also be your buy high guy as well. Like he could go either way. If you really believe in him that he's going to get 9, 11, and 9 targets, then he's a buy high guy. In week 3, he got 3 targets. And so there's a Jekyll Hyde here, I think. And then when the Hyde is there, Tank Dell becomes, you love him. Tank Dell is going to be that guy who vacuums up the underneath targets. And then you see that Nico Collins is going to be the big red zone, end zone guy, which you need that. But sometimes he's not going to get he had 3 for 34 in that game against Jacksonville. So when you get the elite corners up against him, they're going to give you a Tank Dell. So I don't know. What do you think? It's either way for me. I think he's
man. I would say it would be tough for me to sell high. I think I have only 1 share of Nico, and it would be tough. It would be tough for me to part with him because to me, he is one of those, possible league winner guys because you got him round 12. I mean, he was so late, and now he is in PPR 6th, 7th wide receiver. And I hear what you're saying about Tank Dell, but this is nimble W numbers. I mean, we're in week 4, 3 out of 4 weeks he's done well, right? So he did have only 1 bad week. I'm not selling unless, I would sell probably for Amon-Ra St. Brown, it'd be hard for me to really sell
20 points per game for the rest of the year though. I mean, that's really
dude, listen, man, we're about to get into the wire after your sell low. CJ Stroud is still on the wire. I have Trevor Lawrence.
How is he still on
32% rostered, bro? He's 32% rostered. Listen, you can go get him in the BFFs right now. You can go get him.
I have Anthony Richardson. I don't even need him.
Yeah,
so.
well, he's doing better than Anthony Richardson. Like, I mean, CJ Stroud is the bomb, bro. Like, so that's another reason why, like, we have 4 weeks on CJ Stroud. I mean, he is killing it in every statistical category. I think he's on pace to break the rookie passing record for yards by like 500 or 700 yards. I mean, he right now is a top. I have to find the tweet.
He's the fourth most passing yards, 1,212.
He should have gone number one. The Texans are how about a dangerous team? Like,
like rushed the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're gonna give every team problem. That defense is a lot better, I think, than people are aware of. Like, and the thing that drives it all is CJ Stroud. So Nico Collins, to me, it's if you're selling, I'm buying.
All right. Well, I'm gonna not sell that. I'm gonna hold. I like it. I threw it out there. I wanted to figure it out. He is a buy high then.
Yeah.
It's been established. Okay. All right.
Who's your sell low? Got any sell lows?
It's hard to sell low because, I mean, here you talked about Kyle Pitts, right? Kyle Pitts to me might be evisceratable. When we get to elevate, mitigate, eviscerate, I might be eviscerating him. So, like, I wouldn't even trade for him. Maybe he's one of those guys that you trade.
Find your bow.
Because you're going to dump him, because it's not good right now. It's terrible. As a matter of fact,
find your bow, because there's not a lot of bows. Listen, I heard Bo the other day. He went on Bob Harris's show on Sirius. Absolutely crushed it. Like, I mean, Bo is legitimately a wizard. Just destroyed on the radio. Did so good, just spitting knowledge in game. And then at the end, they were asking him about tight ends.
Oh no.
And they brought up Sam Laporta, and they were like, who else could you start over him? Like, besides like Kelsey and Andrews, like, who else are you just, lock start over him? And he's like, there's 4 guys, and they were like, who? And he said Kyle Pitts. And they were like, it was right at the end. It was like, if I could be Bo's agent, I would be like, you don't say that, Bo. You don't say that out loud. And he starts telling them how like big Kyle Pitts games are going to come. And you're just like, so there are people out there that, there are the Bo's of the world who understand the talent, but are just not willing to adjust. Like, will not adjust the ranks on Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, well, I love this tweet. I wanted to put it out there because it matches. It's Rome burning, right? And the question is, what is the worst event in human history? And Denny Carter tweeted out earlier, probably Jonnu Smith leading the Falcons in receiving.
So good.
So good. Save it for my 3 tweets, but I broke into the bottle early because it was just so good. And it's exactly what we're
so
talking
apropos.
Yeah, I love Denny. So shout out Denny. Yeah.
What a great tweeter.
Yeah, he's just the best. So all right, well, let's jump to the wire. That's a good little sequitur to get us out of here. And we'll talk QBs off the break. I can't believe CJ Stroud. We kind of already covered him. I can't believe he is available though. That is wild because he's available in my league, but I'm assuming that in all the other leagues he's just been picked up.
Not picked up. Not been picked up. Yeah,
not been picked up.
Yeah.
No, this is good. All greens here. You have exactly what you want to see. And the dropbacks and the passing snaps, 181. Oh my Lord. No interceptions. They'll come, but still. And he hasn't even really had that many touchdowns 0 rushing touchdowns. Those will come too. So I agree. I think CJ Stroud should be rostered in all leagues. I don't understand. Let me ask you a question. Would you drop Trevor Lawrence for him? Because Trevor Lawrence he's been mitigatable.
So this is the thing, man. Like, I have everybody who has Trevor. Like my only bad team that I have right now is I have, and my other team with Trevor Lawrence is doing well. 3-1 with that team because I just drafted really well and have survived Trevor Lawrence. Okay.
Surviving Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
The Fantasy Millionaires, I've done, I think, pretty decent in points. I might be top 3 or whatever, but Trevor Lawrence is murdering me in that league. I don't know if I would drop him yet, but I'll preview my mitigate. It's Trevor Lawrence.
Minus 2.
Yeah,
I'm mitigating. Yeah.
So yeah, my mitigate. So
would you play? Okay, here's a question. Would you play over? I'm going to name quarterbacks, and you tell me if you'll play them over CJ Stroud, right?
Okay.
So, and this is this week, maybe, or maybe continuing forward for the rest of the season, right? So maybe I'm going to matchup wise, but so for the formidable future, would you play him over Justin Fields?
Yes.
Would you play him over Jordan Love?
It's close. But yes. Yeah, they're neck and neck.
Russell Wilson. These are the guys he's right around in points per game.
Russell Wilson. How about Russell Wilson is 5th right now in the BFFs. So I'm happy. Yeah. I'm happy if I have Russell Wilson, but I would say probably just because he's a rookie and I think he's just going to get better. I'd probably say CJ Stroud.
Yeah. Would you play Anthony Richardson or CJ Stroud rest of the season right now?
Rest of the season, I think I probably would go Anthony Richardson just because if I'm saying overall, who am I going to lean to more over the rest of the season? Like if I'm drafting, I'd take Anthony Richardson because of the rushing. But then you get into matchups. I'd say CJ Stroud. There's plenty of matchups where I would just love to start CJ Stroud.
Yeah. You have me sold. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not going to bang the drum for the next guy, but since CJ Stroud's the one guy who I didn't realize was available. I'm sure Joshua Dobbs is not owned in any of your leagues, right?
100%.
I'm sure that he is just. I mean, first of all, he looks like an alien, so you're probably a little scared.
2.1% in ESPN.
Yeah, nobody's drafting him or picking him up. But dude, their defense sucks. That's a recipe for success. He's running the football. He has designed runs about 4 or 5 per game. He's got 100 rushing snaps, 75 designed rush yards, which is great. And so he's got a couple of scramble yards. He got touchdowns. So he gets the job done both ways. And then attempts, he's got a 123 and no interceptions. So if you're in a 2 QB league, or if you're just bye week hell, which is coming up this week, we only have 12 games, then you might need to go to Dobbs.
100%. Like, I mean, this is why. All right, the wire. Like my next segment with RBs, I have 1. I have 2 wide receivers. Like quarterback still very interesting. Like
streamable. It's really it's where most of your decisions are made each week. Honestly,
right. Quarterback. Like that's the thing is I'm losing in leagues where I keep playing my studs like Trevor Lawrence. Like need to adjust the ranks. Like Josh Dobbs, viable dude, 100%. I mean, he is. He didn't even get to play a week. And all right, here's the BFFs. Week 3, 30. Week 2, 30. Week 3, 22. Versus the 49ers, 32 points. Like,
Jeez.
Again, we have a little bit higher of a scoring system. But it's not that much different. It's a couple extra yards for, completions and incompletions and things like that, viable. 100%. Yeah. How about this? Shocker. Number 12 in BFFs, Baker Mayfield.
Baker is he's throwing tutties and he's not throwing interceptions. I think he's only turned the ball over via the interception 1 time this year. Very un-Baker-esque. No offense, Baker.
Versus the Saints, which is a tough defense, puts up 30. What's that?
I was like, no,
puts up 34 points in the BFFs.
Yeah.
Like
Evans.
again, we're in week 4 now, so this is a quarter of the season. Like adjust the ranks. Like we have to adjust the ranks on Baker Mayfield. Like this is real data that we're getting. 22 points, 26 points, 13 points versus the Eagles, right? Not good. Yep. Okay, it's the Eagles. And then 34 points versus the Saints. And I like he's got a bye, so it's not necessarily like
this week, right?
You need to pick him up right now, but it's just somebody to pay attention to.
Yeah. No, I was thinking about him too. The junkies and cakes were talking about him today. 7 tutties and 2 interceptions. So 2, I'm sorry. Only 2 interceptions. That's good. That's good for Bake. No offense to Bake, but I like it. I think we both know who the running back is going to be. But we'll see.
There's one.
Yeah. I'm putting his name in here. We'll see.
Jaleel.
Yeah, there he is. There be Jaleel. Let me see. No, what happened? I didn't get Jaleel. They don't even have a picture of him. This is terrible. PFF, you're killing me here. I got no Jaleel. Okay, well, PFF is messing with us here, but we'll figure it. We'll find him. Dude, he had a bunch of touchdowns in the preseason, and you kind of ignore the preseason because it's just Well,
and Javonte Williams is on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, here he is on fantasy data. He's looking good. He looks great. But 7 for 72, a 10-yard per carry average. I'll take it. I'll take that all day long. That's ridiculous. Sure, it's against Chicago, but still.
So I was reading on 4 for 4. This is what the projected timetable is for Javonte Williams. Given the nature of his injury, he was ruled out relatively quickly. It was non-contact.
Ooh.
And the fact that their next game is 7 days away, followed by a Thursday night game 11 days from now, I am anticipating Williams missing the next 2 weeks with a hip flexor strain. So I do think, for an auction league, Jaleel McLaughlin, you don't necessarily need to blow the bank because he's probably only going to have 2 viable weeks. Javonte Williams, he's just waiting to break out. I mean, he is a beast, but Jaleel McLaughlin is going to be a thing for the next 2 weeks, I believe.
Oh yeah. I'm excited to see what happens with him. He's a good little back. He's quick. He's shifty. Shifty. So wide receivers. I've got 2. First of all, Jameson Williams, if he's not drafted, he should have been drafted, but if he's not, just check and see. Somebody dropped him because he was suspended. They could not save them in their, most leagues can't save suspended players in their IR slots. So he had to be on a roster. Maybe somebody dropped him, but check and see. But all the players who actually played last week, Michael Wilson, come on down from Arizona, Josh Dobbs' new favorite target. He is a rookie. Let's see if they have him in this system. We'll check and see. We'll go to PFF first and see if they've got Michael Wilson. Is that your guy too?
Michael Wilson, and then Josh Reynolds, who we had mentioned last week. But the sexy pickup is Michael Wilson, right? I mean,
there we go. They got a picture. Good.
I mean, 3.9, 8.6, 10.6, 26.6. Again, versus the 49ers. So
the 49ers, yeah.
Right now is a viable flex option that you could get in week 4. So I think, for me, he's probably the pickup of the week. You know,
by Rondell Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Dortch has passed the torch.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's Michael Wilson, and he looked good too. So I really like that. Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup might be around. If you're looking for a Michael Gallup, he was spotted. I don't know. Do you think Brandon Cooks is going to be that wide receiver in Dallas? What do you think?
No, I don't. I think Father Time is undefeated, and I think Michael Gallup is he always has been a beast. And
he's a bigger wide receiver too. I like
that. So I would definitely grab him if he's available. I would Brandon Cooks is he's getting pretty evisceratable. If you're in a 10-man league,
So close.
yeah, if you're in a 10-man league, he is, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. What about tight ends? Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith, baby. Jonnu Smith. Go and grab Jonnu Smith, man. Grab the tight end one for a team that only seems to be able to throw to Jonnu Smith. Leads the team in receiving yards, dude. Yeah, man. Jonnu Smith. Tyler Conklin. I thought he looked, he came to life last night and has always been a favorite of Zach Wilson. So I think he's worth a grab and stash. And then mentioned him last week too, Logan Thomas. Those are probably your main guys on the wire for tight ends.
Yeah, definitely know that Tyler Conklin wanted to go with Aaron Rodgers to his darkness retreat. That homeboy. Oh, he's got the man bun going on back there.
The darkness retreat.
He would wreck my shit, by the way. That guy would put me in a darkness retreat.
If he wanted to, he could.
Oh, he could crush my soul. So, all right. Well, I agree. Anybody else that you want to pick up defense-wise? This week is the first bye week, so it's going to be super shitty. It's going to maybe not a lot of people to pick up on defense. Maybe
Texans.
Houston Texans. That's the one. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Only one I'm looking for on the waiver wire this week. They're my elevate defense as well, which we'll get to in a minute. So, be on the lookout for them. They might be the only one you can pick up because you are missing 4 games, I think it's 4 games. So it's going to be 8 teams. Is that 8 teams? Shit, not good. Not good. So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right, that is the wire. Let's jump over to elevate, mitigate, and eviscerate. I do love this segment because it's where the bread gets buttered, if you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's where the lube gets applied for the fucking. So let's start. I want to hear your elevate QB. I got some nasty raw ones I'm going to give to you. So I want to hear yours first. I want you the foreplay. I want you to.
Okay. Well, I don't love my QB. But I'm going to go with Daniel Jones versus the Dolphins. You like the Dolphins to just take care of business, and they left Daniel Jones in that game when they were down by 40 points, and there was no reason to keep playing him. But hey, garbage time counts in fantasy. So I think Daniel Jones has the Giants don't have a good matchup. My defense for elevate is the Dolphins versus the Giants. I like the Dolphins to do well versus the Giants. I like them to get some maybe an interception, maybe run it back versus Daniel Jones. But meanwhile, I think Daniel Jones gets some good garbage time fantasy points this week versus the Dolphins.
Yeah, I like it. I've got 2, and they're I mean, dude, they're just so scary. If you're gonna do these things, you're playing with fire. But it's a bye week bonanza of 8 teams off, so you might be getting this week, right? You really might be. If that's the case, let me introduce you to 2 options. Sam Howell is going up against the Chicago Bears defense, which is one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Sam Howell last week only threw 1 touchdown. He was 10 yards away from a 300-yard passing game, which normally in the league gives you a little bonus action as well. I think this week against the Bears on Thursday Night Football, which we need to talk to Bruni about hanging out, maybe watching at Top Golf.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. But
we have David Tell on Friday, right?
I do know we have. I was going to mention that. I've been looking at that for a long time. Nice. Yes, for sure. But with that being said, I think Sam Howell is somebody you could consider starting if there's just nobody else is on the league. And then even crazier, I can't believe I'm saying this now, but Zach Wilson is playing Denver. Right. And Denver,
now you're getting wild. Now you're getting wild, bro.
You could go Zach Wilson and go even. You talked about Breece Hall breaking an 80-yard pass he throws to Breece Hall. He's got Garrett Wilson. He's got Alan Lazard, Ty Conklin. You just pumped him up. How can you talk about everybody on his team and not talk about him? So I'm just gonna.
I'm double stamping no races on Sam Howell. I'm still too scared. I need
shoving on.
I need to see another week of those 3.5 quarters for Zach Wilson.
I agree, but I do feel like he may have turned because that Chiefs defense is a good defense. They put Trevor Lawrence in a blender, so maybe Trevor Lawrence just sucks the first half of the year. I don't know. So all right, what about running back elevate?
Breece Hall, dude, like you said, they are playing the Broncos. The Broncos have given up 704 rushing yards so far.
Holy shit!
Like this is the game. Like if we don't, if Breece Hall just has another 50-yard performance on 5 carries because he gets 10 yards every time he carries the ball. Like I'm out. I'm done. Like I don't want to ride this train anymore. I think this is the week. And when we do our stacks of cash, I want Breece Hall in the lineup.
Okay.
I'm advocating for that one.
Yeah.
700 yards. Like this is the week where we get to see he's already almost done. He's going to break one. Like he was so close this last game. Like he made the little last Barry Sanders cut and the guy just barely was able to get him to the ground. But it's going to happen.
I believe you. I will play Breece Hall. Hopefully he's depressed in price. I've already got the Alice Mizzle gang ready to roll. Okay. So my guy, it might not sound obvious, but I saw people who did not play Devin Hn last night or last week. They were like, he's not going to be anything. Play him every game for the rest of the season. He is the man. He is the man. Mostert did nothing, right? I'm not even worried about it. Devin Hn had a second half. He was the second half back. He was there pretty much most of the second half. He got the touchdowns as well. I think you can roll with him and not ever worry about it again. He's a lock and load now. So it's more like, these are guys that when we talk about elevating, you might go, duh, Devin Hn, but it wasn't duh for people. I saw people on Twitter saying, congrats to the people who put him in your lineup. Everybody should have him in your lineup every single time from now on. He's not going to stop being the fastest player, one of the fastest players in the NFL. Like it's just not going to happen. And if you look at the way that they're going to use him, it was so unfair. They ran Tyreek Hill out of the backfield and put him on a jet sweep behind. That's not fair. That's not fair. And this is crazy. He's already RB3. He's already RB3. Right. I think he'll surpass Mostert by next week. And then I don't think he looks back. So I would just say play him, trade for him, get him. This guy is a league winner. If your team is in need of a winner. So.
And I was listening to Pete Overset today on Sirius XM, and he was making a really good point about just good coaches versus bad coaches. And again, I think it's more, there's more to being a good coach than just this. So I'm not in the Arthur Smith is just trash, even though for fantasy he is. But here was the point he was making is that great coaches find a way to get their talent the ball, right? Arthur Smith is not doing that with Kyle Pitts, but Mike McDaniel is. Like when he sees a guy like Devin Hn do what he's done, he's going to make sure that he gets the ball. So I'm with you, man. I think I have Devin Hn in 2 leagues. I started him in 1, and I didn't need to start him in that league.
Right.
But I played it safe in the other league, and I think no longer. Like I think he's lock and load.
Yeah. I mean, even though he only had 8 attempts, he rushed for 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He's averaging 11.3 and 12.6 yards per rush the last 2 games. And he hasn't even caught a screen yet and gone 80 yards. Right? This has all been rushing. It's not even been PPR work, which when he figures out PPR, oh my goodness, So I know that he will not get you 30 points every week. He'll probably get you 20 though. Solid 20 every single week. So,
all right, let's keep rolling. We gotta move through these a little faster. All right, I have Jahan Dotson, like you said, Sam Howell. I really like that matchup versus the Bears. I have 2. So yeah, I think Jahan Dotson. This has got to be the week where he pops off.
Right.
And
this is the week. I agree.
Yeah. So like if you drafted him, I think this is the week to play him. And then also somebody that's kind of been, people I've mitigated him in leagues. Not doing it this week. DeAndre Hopkins versus the Colts. I think this is a
that way.
really good matchup. And I think this is, DeAndre Hopkins had an adequate performance last week, double-digit points in PPR, but I think this is a week where he explodes.
Yeah, I like that. My bounce back this week is Tutu Atwell for the Rams. He did not see a lot of fantasy points, but he still saw 9 targets. And so he didn't have his best game. You saw what Puka did, winning the game, kind of setting an all-time record for rookies' first 4 games of the season. He's the man. Against the Eagles, I think the Rams are going to get run, and I think that they're going to be throwing the football all game long. And I think that bodes well, of course, for your guy Puka, but then I think Tutu will be in there as well. And don't overlook Higbee. Higbee might be an elevate if you're in the tight end business, given the fact that a couple years ago he put up 3 touchdowns against the Eagles. So I'm just, the Eagles are not great against tight end. They're great against quarterbacks though. So if they can get kind of behind the tight ends, you got a little bit of space there. So that's my
tight end.
No, my elevate tight end was Dalton Schultz, but I thought I'd just double tap.
Double stamp him. All right.
Yeah, Dalton Schultz against Atlanta. Atlanta is not great against the tight end, and I think C.J. Stroud figured it out last week. 4 for 4 touchdown. I like where I saw some yardage too out of Schultz. So they signed him. They want him to be there. He's their main guy, even though Brevin Jordan is around. I think Schultz is their executor when it comes to those routes that can get him in the end zone.
Okay, I have Zach Ertz. I've been featuring Zach Ertz a lot on Elevate, Mitigate, Eviscerate. He's like always on my mind. I've been mitigating him. I like his matchup this week versus the Bengals. And he just continues to get run on that team. And I just think last week I said to mitigate him, I think he was 9 points or something like that. Not great, but viable, and missed a touchdown at the end. He got me to 3rd place in the chalk block tournament though. I was like, yeah, cashed a little bit,
what you beak,
yeah. So I think this is a good matchup for him this week versus the Bengals.
I like it a lot. I'm going to be elevating Houston's defense. We talked about that already. So
Houston's defense
and Miami for you.
For you. Yep, Miami for me versus the Giants.
All right, mitigate. We both talked about Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, we're done ski.
Also Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow got
done.
Yeah. He close. He's not gonna. You're never gonna drop him, but just if you had like something in between mitigate and eviscerate, he'd be there.
Right.
A purgatory for terribleness. He'd be living there. I'm gonna mitigate your boy Damian Pierce. Falcons actually ranked 2nd against RBs and points. ATN. He ran into the brick wall of their defense. It drove me nuts. I had him yesterday against them, and not good. So I think Damian Pierce is in a great space. I think he's a good back to own. I would trade for him right now, honestly, in that mid-tier. But I just think next week, I don't think you need to run him. And maybe they do get some opportunities, but I think you can pass all over the Falcons. And so I think that's what will happen. And I think they'll get passed all over. I mean, you saw Christian Kirk looked amazing. Calvin really caught a touchdown against them, right? I think they suck. So,
so I'm with you. I'm taking my boy too, Miles Sanders versus the Lions. The Lions have a really good run defense. It's a good defense overall. And I think it's just a bad week for Miles Sanders.
Coming off the injury too, not great.
Coming off the what?
He was injured. He shouldn't. He was a game time decision.
So, yeah. Okay. Jeez, I didn't.
Yeah, they shouldn't have played him last week. I started Chuba Hubbard thinking they weren't going to play him. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I think this is just he didn't have a great week, and I think it's going to be another just soft performance versus the Lions.
Soft. Charmin soft. Yeah. I'm with you on that. Let me also now you're not going to like this, but Drake London was one of mine too. You stole Drake London from me, or you didn't steal him, but you put him out there. Cortland Sutton. I'm mitigating Cortland Sutton this week. I know.
Okay.
I know. Okay. It must be done, and I don't like his matchup. I'm
Does
trying
he
to
get
figure out.
sauce? Is sauce on him?
He might get sauced. Now, if they move him around and he doesn't get sauced, then I don't like Jerry Jeudy. But Cortland Sutton, I think he's the main, kind of target that he's looking for. Russell Wilson's looking for every game. He leads the team in targets. And so I think that he's their best wide receiver. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, I mean, maybe he's their best overall wide receiver, but he's been injured, coming off the injury. Cortland Sutton's got 28 targets, leads the team in fantasy points as well. So I'm trying to figure out. He's got 55 fantasy points. I just, Marvin Mims, Brandon Johnson are ahead of Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy has 17 targets, 11 receptions in 3 games. So I just, if Cortland Sutton's going to get the sauce treatment, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. It's definitely it's a tough matchup, man. The Jets defense is legit, dude. So
ask Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
Yeah, it makes you think if they had Aaron Rodgers, they would be a front runner, man, for real.
So I'm going wide receiver. Kenny Pickett looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks. So I don't even care that George Pickens is the wide receiver one on that team. Who cares? And the Ravens are they are tough against wide receivers. They're one of the top tier defenses. So I don't like that matchup. I don't like that there's no Kenny Pickett. I'm not going to play George Pickens this week.
I think that's a great call. How about this? The Pittsburgh Steelers have had 26 first quarter drives this year. They've gotten in the red zone 1 time in those 26 drives. Matt Canada should be fired to the moon. And he should be forced to from the moon coach. He'd be better if he was on the moon.
And then the Ravens, meanwhile, have they're 4th in least amount of passing yards given up. They've only given up 3 touchdowns. Like, it's just a bad matchup.
Yeah. Okay. I've got one that's a little controversial. Tight end Cole Kmet, coming off biggest game of the season.
I thought about him.
Double touchdowns last year against the Commanders, who do pretty good against the tight end. He had 1 catch, 15 yards, right? 2.5 points. So I just think against the Commanders, this game's gonna be a little different than against the Broncos for sure. They're not great, but they're a lot better than the Broncos. They already beat the Broncos. Defensively, I think they're better too. So I'm gonna put the brakes on Cole Kmet.
I'm going Hunter Henry versus the Saints. Bailey Zappi might be behind center. And the Saints, just a nasty defense. I think they play much better this week. And that team just seems to be in disarray. I mean, I was debating on Miles Sanders or Ramondre Stevenson for my mitigate.
Both.
I don't like what's going on, and I think the Saints defense is legit, and I think that they're going to have Derek Carr's got another week of healing under his belt. I think they do better.
Yeah, no, I like that. All right, for defenses, man, this is a weird one. 49ers and Cowboys are playing each other. So that's a real knuckle of a fuckle.
Yeah.
You figure one out and you tell me. I'll listen.
Right.
I'll hang up and listen. So if I have either one of those, I'm kind of like looking somewhere else, maybe picking up Houston or the Dolphins and just starting my studs and letting the chips fly. I mean, seriously, San Francisco's beaten Dallas a lot. So maybe just play San Francisco's defense. But you saw what Arizona did, but then also Arizona beat Dallas. So, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what to say. I'm just saying I'm kind of avoiding both those guys. So,
yeah, I have Jags versus Bills. I don't who wants to play, and the Jags he's good, but who wants to play?
No,
wants to play Bills.
No. All right, I'm still eviscerating Dak. Well, I think you guys know that already. I'm eviscerating AJ Dillon. I'm eviscerating Quentin Johnson. I'm eviscerating Kyle Pitts. He's no Johnny Smith. Who are you eviscerating?
I double stamp on AJ Dillon. Definitely double stamp on Kyle Pitts, bro. I would try and trade him.
And then drop.
But man, like, I'm just so glad I didn't fall for the Kyle Pitts trap. Like, I have
one best ball share this year. It was cute. 5th round bad
I
choice.
didn't have a ton of other people. Damian Harris, I think, is evisceratable, and probably people have, but it looks like Latavius Murray is the guy that is going to bother the James Cook owner. Damian Harris is not the guy. It doesn't look like that. Latavius Murray is. So
Remember when we kind of all thought Latavius Murray was just terrible and sucked and would go
he's
away?
like my age. He's like 43 years old, bro. I don't understand.
I don't understand him either. He's like a poor man's Adrian Peterson. Like, he's not aging. He's not terrible. He's
like,
not
when
great.
did we start playing fantasy football? 2006, something like that. 2005, 2005.
Yeah.
I think he's been in the league since then.
I love that. All right, we starting our Al Smizzle gang. We did not win last week anything because Kenny Pickett got hurt, and that was
a bummer.
We pivoted from one hurt player to another hurt player. It was not great. So, but here we are, and we got Breece Hall in our lineup. Let's talk QB. Where do you want to go this week? What are you thinking? Because there are some matchups that are juicy, that are more expensive. This game here, Minnesota, Kansas City. I don't know what you think about that. You could pay up. You could get Hurts against the Rams. Jackson against Pittsburgh could be the nuts. So, what do you think? Where are you at in this?
Yeah. What about how much is a? See, this would be. It's so expensive to pay for Mark Andrews, but how much does Mark Andrews? We could stack Jackson with Mark Andrews.
He's only 5,500. That's insane.
What about that?
Yes.
What about that stack?
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay.
I came a little. All right.
Now we don't have to throw a dart at tight end too.
No, we don't. Okay.
Texans D. How much is Texans D? Go up. You passed them there.
They're a little expensive. Let's see
That's
if there's
expensive.
a cheaper D.
Yeah,
cheaper D.
Let's dumpster dive. Titans versus Colts.
Titans versus Colts, definitely. Yeah,
right.
That's a good one. Okay. We got our dumpster dive tight end. All right, let's find another RB, and then we'll just play fun with wide receivers, right?
All right.
David Montgomery, 6,600.
David Montgomery, 6,600. I love it.
Yes.
I'm not going to change the formula.
No, I'm not. No. It doesn't need changing. Okay. Where do we want to start with wide receiver?
Do
you want to put
Puka Nacua?
Puka Nacua?
I mean, he's 7,700. That's a lot, but
what about Puka and then your boy DeAndre Hopkins is only
DeAndre Hopkins? I like it.
Yeah. I mean, Nico is only 5,600 against Atlanta. We talked about how terrible they are.
How much do we have left? We have 8,900.
Well, let's put it in and just see. That gives us 3,300.
All right, let's see.
So, there's got to be something. There's got to be a tight
in the cellar.
There's got to be a suck down. Kyle Pitts.
No.
Oh, that would just be funny. You got your
go
boy.
back up. Get Nico out of there. Let's see who's at 5,000. Let's see who's at 5,000. Let's go in that range.
All right, 5K coming up.
Where's Jahan Dotson?
Oh, that's a good one. Jahan Dotson. He might be down low.
Type him in.
Yeah,
he's not that cheap. There's no way.
No.
Jahan Dotson. Oh, he's Thursday night. My bad.
Oh, okay. That's why I'm like, I cannot find that.
All right, go down to like 47. Let's see who's there. 49. Let's see. Marquise Brown. How much what did he have last week? What about Michael? What about our boy? You know who else is just? You know who's number 11 in the league right now is Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen is 5,100.
I mean,
doesn't look bad. Let's see what we have now. We've got 3,800. So let's see who that leaves us with. That should give us a reputable tight end, right? Man of leisure. It gives us Michael Wilson from the Cardinals, if you wanted to
There
put
you
him.
go. There you go.
Okay, so here's our team: Lamar Jackson, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Puka Nacua, DeAndre Hopkins, Adam Thielen, Mark Andrews, Michael Wilson, and the Titans defense. Cha-ching.
Boom.
Updated entry. I like it. All right. Do you want to go first with your tweet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Do
Let
you mind?
me-
I didn't have anything too sexy this week. I couldn't find anything. What did I even send you? I forget.
You got me, Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah, do Zach Wilson. That made me laugh.
Yeah.
The Mark Wahlberg face.
Zach Wilson is cooking.
Yeah. Yeah. That was definitely me.
Yeah, it was his touchdown dive. Holy moly, holy shit. All right, this is mine. It was also related to the game. So this is Jeff Bell, and he says, I love Jeff Bell. He says Isaiah Pacheco is that kid at the sleepover whose parents don't let them have soda. And then here's to watch him.
Yeah. It's so true.
Oh, that's so perfect.
I love it. Yeah. Yo, Troy King had a great one too. He's like, Isaiah Pacheco even slides aggressively. And I commented back. I was like, yeah, he runs back to the huddle aggressively. Like, watch him run back to the huddle. He's running like a 4.6 to get back there.
He's the guy who hustles everywhere. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who won. I don't think
You got it. You got it.
Okay, let me go. I'm trying to actually get back to our Twitter here. Okay, because okay, all right. I did have it pulled up. I'll find it. It's like 9 different buttons later. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, I think that was it. I think I used my Denny. I think I used yeah.
Okay, go back to mine. We'll do mine then, since we use yours. I did want to say something about this. Yeah, go up to the Kevin James one. All right. Me offering to trade my bench depth for your studs. It's funny. It's just the only thing I wanted to say is, isn't it weird how the internet works? Like, haven't you just been inundated with Kevin James lately? Like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden that picture, it's just for like the last week. It's just all Kevin James doing that. And people just, I mean, it starts out, with just regular non-fantasy stuff, but it works its way all the way over into fantasy with a great tweet like this. I like this.
Yeah, it's funny. Me offering to trade my bench depth for your stud. It's perfect. It's perfect. I do love it. I'm going to give it a retweet and a heart. Excellent. Well, I love it, friends. Hopefully you are ready for week 5 now. Post the show, post the analysis, the hard-hitting micro analysis here by your boys, Scotty Stack Simpson and Mike Cash Collins. Do follow us, Nimble W Numbers, and whatever you want to say, the Ralph Macho on Twitter. I think you also follow the FF Millionaires on Twitter as well. Please do like and subscribe and let us know how you're doing, if you're taking our advice. Appreciate everybody. And anything else? I think that's it. I think that's all.
That's it. Yeah, as always, war, destruction, pain, chaos, and heartache to your opponents in week 5. Peace and love everywhere else.